There will be spoilers in this video. Hi, this is Star Wars Theology here. This episode, episode 6 of Ahsoka, it was mixed for me. It was for me an average episode. It was not that bad. This episode starts with Huyang and Ahsoka, talking in the spaceship. Um, so this was pretty cool because the part that I like about here is when they're finalizing the conversation. They're basically you have a homage there for beginning of each movie.
That is your fear.
Tell me one of those stories.
Yeah, I kind of like this.
Your choice.
Very well. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, that was really good. So I like that part from the beginning. And this episode is gonna go pretty quick because basically what we have here is that they going through hyperspace, right? And then arrive to the planet where the wishes are. This is the part that I have a little bit of a problem with the episode, and it's Sabine. I think the episode basically deducted to me a point and a half, and it was mainly because of Sabine. Sabine, I have a problem for the fact that she risked the whole Republic, the new Republic, to save Ezra. And basically, this episode goes into a lot of that. I'm gonna go into that much, but they arrived to the planet, and then I had a lot of vibes of the Lord of the Rings. They have a lot of the Rings vibes, basically the backgrounds, the big statues, and all that. As you can see here, the wishes. These wishes are something to be scared of. I don't know how the magic is gonna be portrayed in the series, but I think something bad is coming. And as you can see, Baylan Skoll, he senses that there's something in this planet, and then they're trying to, besides going back to the main galaxy, they want to get out of that planet because of a reason, and he's feeling that, and he's telling that to Chinhati. Chinhati also say like more wishes, like they wanted to escape from that planet, so it's gonna be interesting. Then I'm glad that she was not using the force here when she was on the cell. That is basically Thrawn's chimera coming in, and that's what all the vibrations. So I think that's one thing about the series that they doing well. That is they're making Sabine be very bad, very low level, with the force. And I have no problem. I kind of like that. Now, the part that I like about the episode is the the dead troopers, or not dead troopers, but night troopers, because of it's based on I think this is based on the legends novels of the dead troopers. Is pretty interesting. One thing that I notice, and is when we get Thrawn, and Thrawn is talking, there's something wrong with him, and I noticed stuff in his outfit. As we know based on the novels, we have a very sharp idea or image of how Thrawn should look. In the novels, he was really sharp, very smart. He basically looked at the order of the uniforms of his stormtroopers to see how dedicated they were to the cause of the empire, and what how they carry the orders that he was giving them to junior officers, regular stormtroopers. So as you can see here, we have really good arts. If you look around, how sharp, and how in this case you see very fit, very military oriented. I think, and probably it's not just me, I think a lot of people is having problems with the appearance of Thrawn in this series. But even one of my favorites, is the novel, one of the recent novels that truly explains the stories and the interactions between Thrawn and Darth Vader. It's really good. It's one of the best novels. I love how they interact. It was very good. We have all this novel content. As you can see, we have this picture of him being so sharp, having military concentration, be the smartest, sentient being on the room. Anybody who likes Thrawn will agree with me. And that's the picture that we have of him. Now, if we go back to what we saw on show, I start seeing some things in his uniform. This is like very rugged. And one thing that I noticed, let me share this right here, is that there's stains and things that you will not think that Thrawn would allow to happen in normal situation. I think this exile of 5 years in this planet has affected him, and I don't think he's 100% there mentally. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm kind of like noticing, what I can see from what happened in the series. That doesn't take that when we see Thrawn for the first time, and I'm just gonna play a little bit of it here.
Great mothers, I salute you. Soon we shall all escape this exile thanks to the efforts of Morgan and elsewhere.
The way he talks there, I like. I have no problems, but you can see that he has been affected by this exile. Definitely. He is not the Thrawn that we have portrayed and envisioned from the novels that we read. Legend novels and, current canon novels. I love the character of Thrawn because of how dedicated he is to his military career and why he wants to achieve to save his species, the Shiz, by basically outsmarting everybody. And that's what I like about Thrawn, the smartest character, legends and canon, hands down. There's nobody smarter than him, how he can use his resources and maximize the outcomes of battles and basically be the best in the Empire. I kind of like that. I noticed those differences, and I don't know if he is there 100%. We need to see the next 2 episodes to kind of like see where he's at. I hope he's still a menace to the enemies who try to battle with him in space battle. So let's see what happens. Something else that I like in the episode is the character of Enoch. I know he doesn't look like a regular stormtrooper. There's a lot of things going on here. He has a samurai influence here, plus the name Enoch that is the grandfather of Noah. And there's a lot of biblical aspects there. If you're Christian and that story, he was very dedicated man in the Old Testament. This is a good analogy with what this character could be in this universe. This is the right hand of Thrawn, and I'm really interested to see where this goes. We can definitely see the influence of the Japanese art of kintsugi. Kintsugi is a way to repair armor, or can be used as an art. There's a very good example here. As you can see, is filled up with gold, and you can repair bases and metals in between. So it's a Japanese art, so that's what you see being influence for this episode and what we see with the stormtroopers. One of my favorite part in the episode was when Thrawn was arriving. That's the other thing here. As you can see here, there's red robes or kind of tape. I don't want to call it tape, but robes. I think it's the same color what the Night Sisters are wearing. So definitely these guys are dead and this is just magic. So that's the thing. If the Night Sisters can create this whole army for Thrawn, this is gonna be interesting. This is the entrance right here that I like, when Enoch, you can tell it's the second in command, and yeah, this is very scary. If the Night Sisters can create so many troops for Thrawn, Ahsoka alone cannot handle all this. Ezra is gonna need to get involved. If Baylan Skoll, Hattie team up and figure out that this is really bad for everybody, and then basically they need to take action because there's no other choice. If they go to the regular galaxy, this guy's, this whole army, and they can create more of them, how are they gonna stop them right now? They're gonna need to get and call the cavalry. And I'm sorry, but it will not make sense if Luke doesn't show up. Luke needs to help at some point. I'm not think it's gonna happen in this series, but if they go to the movie for this, or if there's a second season, I'm not sure. I have heard rumors, but I have not validated that fact. But if that happens, Luke, Leia, and combination of, but at least Luke needs to show up. They need him. They cannot handle all this stuff. This is too many. This is too many of them. So just being realistic. I know Ahsoka, is the apprentice of Anakin, and she's a great Force user and a great Jedi. She knows how to use the blade. I am not saying that she's not a good Jedi, but look, she lost to Baylan Skoll here. So, and it was just one man. There's too many of these stormtroopers, and we have Thrawn there as a commanding officer. This is not good. I don't know how this series can end. This series is not gonna end in a good terms for the heroes. So everybody buckle up, because this is gonna be kind of hard. I think some of our heroes are gonna get injured. I will not be surprised if some of our heroes die. That could happen. Actually, it will even make the series a little bit even better. To see some tragedy, like some struggle. We need to see something like that, but will make the series a lot better. But that's my opinion. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. This is the part I have a problem with. It's all the sequence with Sabine. I don't going to go too much in details with that, but basically is that there was something off.
You abandoned me.
This right here.
Should have known you were a coward.
I know that it could be influence of the animation and just to try to be a little bit childish here, but I don't get it. It kind of threw me off of the episode a little bit, even though that there was so many other great things like the Night Troopers, Thrawn coming in. I'm not taking anything out of that. I don't like what happened here. Okay, one thing that I like that happened while Sabine was reaching for Ezra is the Noti. It reminded me a lot about the Ewoks. I know they're different, they look different, but
just relax over there.
There's something about them. See how the talk? It reminds me a lot about the Ewoks. So a little bit of nostalgia for me. It's not the cup of tea for everybody, but I like the Noti. I would like to see what happens with them and where that goes. There was something positive about it with the interactions of Sabine in this journey. As we know, Baylan Skoll and Hattie are looking for her at this point, and that's what we see here. We see Baylan Skoll and Hattie trying to follow her. So he's talking about that there's no future in the Jedi Order, and that he feels something calling him here. And I think there's a little bit in here.
Something calls to me.
Yeah, something calls to him.
Don't you hear it?
So this is gonna be interesting. There's many theories in the internet right now. So I'm gonna be looking forward to what really happens with this. See who's calling him. That will be interesting to see. I kind of like what happened in the little town with the Noti community. So now she's in the community, and basically she's trying to figure out, if Ezra's there.
It's because I didn't know where I was
She
going.
finds Ezra.
Typical. Always a plan.
It was
Never
good, and especially for Rebel fans, I think
It worked,
they
didn't it?
probably love this moment here. But what I don't like about this is that she basically plainly lied to him in his face. And if they're so good of friends, I don't know.
I see my friends found you.
Yeah, I don't know if this is, if it makes sense. So that's why I say that I have a problem with Sabine in this episode. Now, what will be very interesting is what happens in the next 2 episodes.
I want to know her background, history, homeworld, and
Yes.
master everything.
Because now, because of the other Night Sisters told Thrawn that Ahsoka is coming, we get this little dialogue now
Could
here.
it be the recently deceased Ahsoka Tano?
Yeah,
Impossible.
I
because
thought it was beyond you
Huh.
to underestimate a Jedi. After all, death and resurrection are common deceptions played out by both Night Sister and Jedi.
now Thrawn is in a mission to find out what he's gonna do. And there's a piece of dialogue here that I like.
Assured me of the death.
And yet, he was once a Jedi. So, we must regard him as flawed.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for Baylan Skoll. I think Thrawn's gonna kill him somehow. I hope not. That at least he lasts 2 more episodes, but he is he's making Baylan Skoll basically say, it's basically expendable at this point because of he was not good enough to fully kill Ahsoka. Thrawn has high standards.
Now, we shall consider Ahsoka Tano alive until we know otherwise.
Yes.
And we shall prepare accordingly.
Yep. He wants to prepare accordingly. He is playing chess right now in his mind. I can see what's going to happen next.
I want to know her background, history, homeworld, and master everything.
Yes, Grand Admiral.
Huh. And that's going to create a lot of problems because once he knows that her master was Anakin Skywalker, it's going to be really interesting. So I'm looking forward to see what happens next. And as we know, I like the ending here.
If a star whale approaches Peridia, destroyed with prejudice. Great mothers.
Yes. This I like it. He's just stealing the show there. I can just remember the books, especially listening to the books. I listened to a lot of them to Audible. It's an Amazon program. So if you have not got the chance, I recommend you to get Audible and get into the the legends. If you don't have time to read, Amazon is not sponsoring me or anything. So I'm just saying that because as a Star Wars fan, you can get a lot of knowledge through listening to this novel. So go ahead if you can, if you're interested, just go ahead and get those novels. But now this ending is very cool.
I shall once again require the aid of your dark magic.
Oh wow!
The thread of destiny.
And look in the background there.
demands it, Grand Admiral.
Look at this ending. Wow. I want to see him go nuts. After watching this episode and seeing all the little details that happen, I will give this episode a 7 out of 10. Mainly is because of what happened with Sabine. I watched this episode twice to see if I was kind of like too harsh, but 7 out of 10 is for me. And everything about Thrawn is good, except that I can see why people could be a little bit trouble about how he looked. He has a couple extra pounds. We don't see basically this. We don't see that typical youthful Thrawn that we got on the novels. But definitely that exile really hurt him. Like I always say, the truth is always available to you. You just need to go and find it. And remember, the Force will be with you always. See you in the next one, guys.